I think what happens is we believe as a people a little bit too much in movies. Like movies are so good that we believe in them way more than we should. Right? Like JFK. People will forever believe because of the movie JFK that there was a second gunman. Back and to the left, back and to the left. I mean, you have a genius filmmaker. You have something which we feel like is an unsolved murder with the magic bullet theory and back and to left. There's got to be a conspiracy out there. We believe these movies. And I think, one of the things that we always looked for when we were kids, when there was somebody was poisoned or there was some sort of sickness going around, there was an antidote, right? So I think that we believe the vaccine is an antidote. It has to be an antidote. It has to solve all of our problems, and that's not how it works. And what's interesting, and I pointed this out a couple weeks ago, Fox News did kind of a heel turn, right? They went from vaccine deniers to, hey, you should get the vaccine. Former President Trump, who his warp speed created a pathway for all these vaccines. He was speaking at some rally, and he started talking about the vaccine, and his own, like, Trumpers or Trumpets, I don't know, what do they go by? Trumpers, they were booing the guy they came to see because he was like, you got to get vaccinated. So there's this weird, like, counterculture element to it. I understand that with, like, in the black community, there's been a pushback because of the Tuskegee experiments. Like, I understand that. If you actually look at the data which came out today, white evangelicals are the least percentage of vaccinated. People that voted for Trump, the least. Black men and women are vaccinated more often, a higher percentage than white men and women are. So this talk of, hey, it's in the black community and it's because of Tuskegee and because of a mistrust for the government, and great. It doesn't appear to resonate in the real world, with the exception of Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton. Who else you got? I mean, you got Kirk Cousins and Cole Beasley. And what's ironic is here you have Cole Beasley, who he gets sent home because the trainer who he was working with tested positive even though he's been vaccinated. So then by rule, he has to go home. Cam Newton, by rule, he has to be at home for a week. And here's the thing. This is the way in which you make people get vaccinated without making them get vaccinated, which is you simply go like, hey, look, if you want your day to be completely obnoxious, we'll fill it up with completely obnoxious things. We're trying the best way legally we can. And by the way, now that the Pfizer one got completely approved yesterday, like there isn't really a standing argument outside of somebody whose doctor says this isn't good for you. Right? There's no standing argument to that. But how crazy is it that Cam Newton, who's in really the fight for his football life, that this is the last best chance he's got. Right? And he has the respect of everyone in the league for the way in which he's handled himself. Didn't play well last year, but we'll give him the no off season. We'll give him the shoulder problems. We'll give him the coming off of COVID. We'll give him the fact he didn't have weapons to deal with. And as of the last preseason game, he was probably going to be the starter. Now, he still may start, but he's leaving it to chance. Same thing with Cole Beasley. My dad used to say all the time, like, there's always a reason. And I goes, like, what do you mean? I was in the USBL. The USBL was an old league in May and June. They'd have teams in New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, D.C. They'd have teams in Florida. They'd have teams in the Midwest. And it was great. It was like trial by fire. You play like 40 NBA rules games, and half the guys that play in the NBA. And you don't make a lot of money, but you play a lot of basketball, and it's pretty cool. And I remember I was getting ready for my first game, and I just finished college in 2000. And we had 7 or 8 guys that had been drafted and played on some level in the NBA. And I was asking my dad, I was like, Dad, these guys are so good. Why in the heck are they in the USBL in Enid, Oklahoma, playing in Mark Price Arena? And he said, son, there's always a reason. Right? Guys don't fail or succeed because of their talent alone. You know, some guys can't shoot. Some guys eat their way out of leagues. Some guys don't take care of the rest of their body. Some guys stay out all night. Some guys have a drinking problem. Some guys have a drug problem. Some guys have a sex problem. They just do. All of these things can distract you. Some guys are uncoachable. Uncoachable. Doesn't mean they're not smart. Doesn't mean they don't know what they should be doing, but they can't figure out a way in which they work with somebody who is telling them what to do. Cam Newton, Cole Beasley, those are guys that they're giving reasons why they don't want to play more than they do want to play.